Welcome back to Level Up Your Life. In our last episode, we established that your brain is running ancient, powerful hardware that makes rejection literally hurt. But what happens when that hardware gets infected with social malware? Today, we're exposing the viruses hijacking your brain. The crushing weight of peer pressure, the childhood programming that installed your yes button, and the resulting self-sabotage sequence, the Fawn Response. It's time to run the antivirus. Now, this ancient wiring is only part of the story. We also have to look at your psychological programming because, on top of this biological hardware, most of us are infected with what I call the good child virus, which leads to something called the Fawn Response. From a young age, we are praised for being compliant, cooperative, and easygoing. We quickly learn that saying yes gets us approval, while saying no can lead to conflict, disappointment, or being labeled difficult. This social conditioning becomes the psychological software that runs on our biological hardware. This is where many of us develop what therapists now identify as the fawn response. You've heard of fight, flight, or freeze. Fawning is the fourth lesser-known trauma response. The term was coined by psychotherapist Pete Walker to describe a survival strategy where our instinct in the face of a perceived threat is to immediately placate, appease, and agree with the other person to neutralize the danger. Fawning often develops in childhood as a way to cope with a volatile or narcissistic parent. By merging with their needs and abandoning one's own, a child can gain a small measure of safety and attachment. It's a brilliant survival strategy for a child, but it becomes a debilitating habit in adulthood. Understanding this connection is profoundly liberating. It reframes people-pleasing not as a simple bad habit, but as a deeply ingrained and once necessary survival skill that is now misfiring in safe situations. The behavior isn't a sign that you are a pushover. It's a sign that you developed a brilliant strategy to stay safe as a child. This awareness is crucial because it moves the problem from the realm of character flaw to the realm of a pattern that can be understood, honored, and consciously updated. And finally, there's one more layer to this glitch, the raw, crushing power of peer pressure, or what psychologists call the Asch Effect. It's the unbearable weight of the group. In the 1950s, social psychologist Solomon Asch conducted a series of now legendary conformity experiments. He brought a group of students into a room and told them they were participating in a simple vision test. He showed them a card with a reference line, and then another card with 3 comparison lines, and asked them to say which line matched. The catch? All but one of the participants were actors, instructed to unanimously give the same obviously wrong answer on certain trials. Asch expected most people to trust their own eyes, but the results were shocking. A staggering 75% of participants conformed to the incorrect group answer at least once, and across all the critical trials, the average conformity rate was 37%. They knowingly agreed with a blatantly wrong answer just to fit in. Now, it's easy to dismiss this as a relic of a more conformist era. Indeed, a 1980 replication by Perrin and Spencer using British engineering students seemed to support this, finding almost zero conformity and leading those researchers to conclude the Asch Effect was merely a child of its time. But here's the kicker. Modern technology, especially social media, has basically rebooted the Asch Effect on steroids. Instead of a dozen students in a lab, it's millions of people on platforms like TikTok, all subtly pushing you to go with the flow. This is where we must be rigorous in our thinking. While overt, in-person conformity might have decreased, the underlying psychological force has been supercharged by modern technology. Social media, viral trends, and online culture have created a global 24/7 Asch experiment. The pressure to follow the crowd is now subtler but far more pervasive, creating a tidal wave of Me Too pressure that can drown out your internal no on a massive scale. So let's recap. You said yes to moving that creepy armoire because you were fighting a 3-front war. Your ancient survival wiring saw a social threat and triggered a panic response demanding compliance. Your childhood conditioning and the Fawn Response screamed, "Be nice, keep the peace, stay safe," and the powerful force of social conformity whispered, "Go with the flow or be left out." It's an Olympic-level brain glitch, and you were set up to fail. But here's the good news, and the main conclusion I want you to walk away with. Your superpower is awareness. Now that you understand the wiring, you can begin to rewire. The next time you feel that heart-pounding panic at the idea of saying no, you can recognize it for what it is, a prehistoric echo, a biological false alarm. Take a deep breath. Remember, your brain is just doing its keep you alive job. It's not dictating your modern life. With that pause, your rational inner CEO, your prefrontal cortex, can get back online and get back to work. If any of this hit home, smash that like button as a mini celebration of this new awareness. Even better, share in the comments the most outrageous time you agreed to something you desperately wanted to refuse. Trust me, we've all got a facepalm-worthy story. In episode 3, we'll pivot from "Why is this so hard?" to "How do I actually stand my ground?" I'll hand you 4 diplomatic, ninja-like strategies to protect your time without torching your relationships. So hit subscribe, ring that bell, and get ready to level up, because mastering the art of saying no is about to become your new secret superpower. Peace.